I'll do whatever y'all like, whatever's good for this group of people to do their job.
Go ahead,
I'm not in a hurry.
Feel like we're in place, I think.
Okay. Kind of hard to put into words the grind that the tournament had. Obviously, an incredibly well-pitched game. Joe Lenhart saved his best outing as a Cowboy for that moment in time, and really proud of him. What an up-and-down season for him. Wasn't great early, got sore, had to spend a month getting his arm back in shape, and was so determined to come back strong. We're not sitting here unless he does what he did tonight, and then Peyton was sensational behind him. It's a grind on offense, classic case of kids wanting so badly to come through for each other that they try a little too hard. I got to do a better job as a coach of helping them relax and think correctly. There's a process there that we're continuing to learn, and we'll just keep working on it together. But when we needed it most, kids came through, and Alex Garcia delivered in a big way, and that it loosened the tension a little bit in the dugout. And then Trevor calmed down enough to draw a walk. Again, you hit a home run like he does the other night, and you get celebrated, and there's all this great attention surrounding a moment like that. And then I think the kids, they start wanting to recreate it a little bit. And obviously, he took a walk there, which proved to be huge because Bryce delivers with a base hit. And heads-up base running play by Bryce Carter. They put two guys on, which changes the dynamic at second and third rather than first and third. So that was a big base that Bryce took. And then Carson delivers. He delivers the first big clutch multiple RBI hit that we've had in a couple of games other than the rally the other night. So a number of kids, at that time, they slowed their heartbeat down enough to deliver, and I'm really proud of them. I thought Coach Walton did an amazing job of putting the tournament together from a pitching standpoint, and then I thought the kids executed at a very high level. So I'm just very proud of these kids. As I told them, the greatest gift of winning tonight is the extension of our team's time together. We get a chance to keep doing this together, and that means a whole lot this time of year, especially when the relationships and bonds and investment is as strong as it is with this group of kids.
Josh, can you talk a little bit about the web gems on the end of the table? I mean, both those guys earned gold gloves tonight, I think.
I thought Joe left it all on the field, man. Whether it's the pitches he made or the way he left his feet, he pitched from his heart. He pitched for Oklahoma State. I mean, that's a great place to come from when you're pitching in a big situation. When you can deliver on behalf of your ball club and compete like that on behalf of your school, then you've got you got a special guy. And then Carson is just a grinder. He's just got a steadiness and consistency about him that's allowed him to really blossom into a fine player. And Peyton, I mean, what else can you say? He took the stopper role for us this year, and he's embraced it. He's been marvelous at it. His brother did it for a couple years. Vince Whelan did it. We've had some awfully good relief pitchers, but Peyton has performed as good as anybody we've had. It's just been such a weapon to have a guy that good coming in to hand the ball off to, and the other kids in the bullpen have been great too. So just really proud of these kids, man. They're the ones that you want to hear from. They deserve the credit.
You want to talk about the double first?
Yeah, I mean, Bryce and was it Navi? Who was it?
Boone.
Was it Navi?
Trevor actually took a walk, I think.
Oh, it was Trevor, yeah. Both had great at-bats before me, and I mean, I knew that guy was going to pitch me because Al had a great swing earlier that day at a home run. So I mean, I just went up there, told myself not to do too much, and came through.
Of the three catches, the one in the first, there was one in the fourth, and the diving one sixth, maybe? I mean, of those three, which was the best catch?
The best catch? I mean, the best catch of the game was Joe's catch earlier that
Okay.
dive. I mean, I honestly didn't know he had that in his arsenal, but I mean, he proved me wrong.
Okay, of your catches, which one did you rate the best?
I mean, I think that one in the first inning was big time just because we had that runner on third base and it got us out of the inning.
The diving one, it looked like, did you lose it for a second?
I got a bad read on it. I thought it was hit a little bit harder than that and came in on it.
There's a white tarp in the second deck right in that sight line that from the conference tournament to this tournament. the ball can sometimes, for a split second, travel into that white tarp and then come out. So it's part of learning to play the field. And we struggled with that a little bit in the conference tournament. And when we got here for this regional, he worked his tail off the first day of finding that sweet spot and seeing the ball. So compliments to him for making that adjustment.
Josh, on the play he made in the first, I don't know about your angle, from the press box, he just disappeared in the corner. Could you see the
I didn't
play?
get to see it either. I just, when he disappeared, I just looked to the crowd to see how they reacted. And when the people stood up, I knew he caught it. So, yeah, it's one of the things in the third base dugout. Sometimes you lose sight of that left field corner depending on how the ballpark's aimed. But he played awfully good, and he's been grinding through some back stiffness. So just a lot of gutty effort on across the board with these kids. Colin really gutting it out back there. And, you can go around the diamond. These guys have played a lot of baseball. Part of me was a little bit thinking that the conference tournament and the length of it and all the baseball we played may have zapped a tiny bit of the starch in our legs, which sometimes in your legs go just a tiny bit. But these guys fought through it. They didn't use anything as an excuse, and probably be a mistake to not compliment Connecticut. When you lose the first game of a regional, you turn around and win the game to stay alive, and then you beat a Nebraska team that was arguably one strike or one out away, whatever it was, from being in the winner's bracket. And then you take on the undefeated team and put us back into the Monday game and then push us like they did. That's an impressive effort. That's some tough kids, and those pitchers, I think several threw 3 or 4 times in the tournament. And you saw why their closer's the most highly celebrated closer on the books this year. So it's a pretty darn good team, and you damn sure don't want to be behind late in the game with that closer. That kid's fastball has a gear in it that you don't see many times.
Joe, did you, I don't know if all your preparation is based on, video study with Coach Walton or whatever, but I mean, statistically anyway, like, Connecticut was like the hottest team in the tournament. I mean, so on the basis of that, I know you're focused on any star you get and the opponent, but I mean, with these guys doing what they've done, were you like super focused on having good early innings?
Yeah, well, the work actually started earlier this week. I had a rough outing last weekend in the Big 12 tournament against TCU, and Rob did a great job of just getting with me. We watched film, we watched time of, when I've had success, where my arm slot was, getting a little bit more out front on my changeup, getting over the top of it a little bit more, and we made that adjustment this week, and I trusted Rob and went out there and threw it at him, and they're a good team, and coming into it. Obviously they've been probably one of the hottest bat hitting teams in the tournament. So, I knew I was going to have to be nails, and I knew I was going to have to be locked in. They got a few guys on there early, and my defense did a great job. Pitching with these guys behind me, it just really makes it easy. I just really wanted to trust my stuff and go out there and give us a chance to win.
Peyton, were you in the bullpen over there when Alex hit the home run, and what was kind of the vibe like among the teammates then?
I was over there, and we get excited anytime a home run's hit. We have a little thing that we go through every time a home run's hit. It was great.
Coach Holliday, I know Alex hasn't always gotten, the glory of, say, Trevor Boone or Colin Simpson throughout the season, but how would you describe his role of kind of consistently being able to help the team in those key moments?
I'm really proud of him. He came in the fall and was eager to learn, willing to take instruction, joined the group immediately in terms of just being one of the guys. He's fun because he's very vulnerable, and he laughs at himself, and it makes you immediately want to gravitate towards him, just like him. And he's improved dramatically at first base. He's become a nice first baseman. He is quietly sat in the bottom quadrant of our batting order as a bit of a weapon to knock guys in. And you got to have guys that can knock someone in at the top, middle, and bottom. He's been the best RBI guy we've had in the bottom section of the lineup. And he's willing to admit it when he gets sped up. The other night against Nebraska, he said, "Coach, I got really sped up in that bat. I totally lost myself and chased 3 bad pitches." And I said, "Okay, well, we can correct it now because you at least know what you felt." Today, I thought he might have had the most calm quality at bats across the lineup the whole day. So, you're not here without every player kicking in. And obviously he had to, because some of our other guys that are really, really big run producers maybe didn't have as good a tournament as they would have liked. So somebody had to pick up the slack, and Alex was big.
So for Coach Holliday and for Carson, I mean, since y'all went to Lubbock, you're 14-3, right? So it wasn't are you guys a different team now, or was that just kind of a weird weekend where it didn't, you get the outcomes you want?
I'll give it to you from my perspective. Since that trip, we've played 2 baseball games in Stillwater. We played a baseball game against Baylor on a Thursday and Friday night. Since then, we've been to Corvallis. We played Bedlam. We played the Big 12 tournament. We played this regional. We're a different team than we were when we went there. We've grown leaps and bounds, and we've had moments and experiences that have helped us grow from that. That series helped us. It forced us to either go all in or just float off like all the rest of the teams that don't really have that investment. So that series helped us. And, going back there to play them, they're a heck of a good team. We already know that. So, but we are a much different team. And that trip home from Lubbock, I think these kids just realized that there's more in the tank for this ball club, and they started to deliver. So, a much different ball club.
Carson, what do you remember about the Lubbock weekend? Just
that's behind us. We don't really have to worry about that. But we just got to look forward, and I think we are a different team. We've grown closer together, and I think we're playing great baseball right now too.
I think it's interesting that you go circle back to, with the stakes what they are now, you go back to Lubbock.
Yeah, I want to play them. I'm ready to play them. I think a lot of the guys in the clubhouse are ready to play them again too.
Joe, Josh said earlier in the year, you've gone through kind of a cycle or some spells and come out on the end looking pretty good. But is this pitching staff, does that kind of mirror you a little bit? Because this pitching staff started off really fast, then it looked like it kind of took some bumps, and now you guys with by far the best pitching in the regional.
Yeah, every season's going to have its ups and downs, and it's a team that can stay the most consistent through it all is who's going to be on top. And, Rob does a great job of working with us every single day. And, during that time, we had our hitters step up for us. So, it really just takes a whole team effort. And, you're only as good as your next outing. So, you got to put the bad times behind and you got to build off the good times. And I think we've just done a great job of that, and we're looking really strong right now for sure.
At what point did you decide to leave your feet?
Well, so actually the other day when Jake Lyons was on the mound, they bunted that ball foul, and we had our play on for him to get over there. And I told him, I said, Jake, if you get a better jump off, you could have dove and caught it. And sure enough, that guy bunted that ball up, and I was like, you know what, it's all or nothing. I'm going for it. And I knew, in an elimination game, being a senior, I just want to do anything I can to help our team win. And I just went for it.
Rob came out after. Was it a normal mound visit? Was he checking on you?
Yeah, he was just giving me a little bit of a breather. He wanted me to get back into it. I definitely exerted some effort into that play. So, he just came out, told me to get back to what I was been doing, and I think the next guy got a base hit, but then I was able to work out of the inning and keep him to one. So, yeah, he just kind of told me to take a deep breath and get my focus back.
Joe, being a senior in an elimination game, did you put any added pressure on yourself at all today, or?
No, for me, it's just another game. Obviously you have that feeling of, this could be the last one, but my focus was just to, compete and do absolutely anything I could do to help these guys win. We've really bonded together well, and getting the ball in the last game, I really wanted it, and Rob trusted me and Josh, and they gave me the ball, and I took it and went with it. I'm just going to help do anything to help this team win for sure.
Last couple questions.
Josh, what was the explanation you got on that double play in the first?
Evidently, he caught the ball, and so our runner thought he dropped the ball, and the fact that he caught it means that we didn't tag up, and so obviously the ball was called dead. And then after it was reviewed, it was explained that upon being reviewed that he caught the ball, and that they didn't even have to put the ball back in play and appeal to first base for a double play. That was just simply a double play. So it is what it is. When that leaves the field of play and it goes to headquarters where somebody's watching the game, there's nothing you can say as a coach to just accept what happens and move on.
Last question.
Carson, Joe is a guy who brings a lot of emotion to this team. What does that mean to you guys when, even on days when he's not starting and he's out there waving the towel and doing all the things?
Oh, I mean, yeah, this guy's always cheering everybody on. He's definitely a guy you want to have on your side. I mean, I couldn't think of a better leader for this team, a better senior for this team. Makes you really want to play for him.
Thank you very much.